Came from the White family down the Gyard Creek by Rochester down there. And it's old. They bought it used in 1927. And so it's plenty old. And it's just amazing with the spindly little wheels that it's still in that good a condition. And they had 6 girls, and the mother and all the girls said they all rode in it, and they used it in a parade down there. It's hard to really to find these. This is just a kid's pony rig, and you figure the kid's pony, and then as spindly as the wheels were, you'd expect it to be all broken up, so they took pretty good care of it. It belonged to Anderson Middleton Lumber Company. They used it down there by the mill. Of course, they had the horses to pull log wagons and the lumber wagons and stuff, and so they had this for the kids to ride in down there. What's good about this one is it's cut under so that the wheels can turn a lot sharper in there, and it makes it a lot safer for the kids. If on the other one, like this other pony wagon here, as soon as the wheel runs up against the side of the body, it starts to lurching up and down. It's easy to tip it over, so this one is really a lot safer for the kids. We got this one from Jim Middleton, and I told him what we were doing. I said, he said, you might as well just come up and take it up. He said, I'm afraid somebody's going to put it on the burn pile or put it out in the yard and let it rot away. So he just gave it to us. And all we did was just touch up a little bit of paint and poster the seats there with a... And I tried to get Jim to come up and see what we're doing, but he never did come up. So finally, this last winter, he came up, he called up and he said, I got a picture. I think it's that pony cart. And so he said, I'm going to bring the picture up to look. So he brought the picture up, and sure as heck, it's the same cart, and this is up on the hill on Broadway in Aberdeen. And there's 3 Middletons and a Weatherwax. They're all big lumber company names in Aberdeen. And the 3 Middletons are his aunts and uncles, Jim's aunts and uncles, and they're all passed away now, and the others are Weatherwax. And you could tell they're all gone because this thing on the back is dated 1904. So this thing is already 104 or 108 years old. This is the oldest one we have. It's an 1850 vintage, and it actually belongs to Riley Glore, the veterinary here on the harbor. And this thing was his three greats-grandpa, George Powers, was the first Justice of Peace in Illinois, and he built the first sawed lumber building in Illinois in the early 1800s. And this picture on the front here shows the building, and they still call this building the Lincoln House, because when Abraham Lincoln became a lawyer, he argued his first case before this judge in this building, probably around the kitchen table. And so this is on the National Registry, and they still call it the Lincoln House. And when Lincoln became a president, he argued his last case before this guy's son. And in '95, they had a tornado back there, and it tore up the barn and the buggy. Well, there's the running gear, a buggy there. And Riley went back to see what they'd done with it, because he'd remember playing in it as a kid. Well, they had it on the burn pile. They were just going to burn. He said one piece of one door is about all you could really recognize. So he had an old guy back there restore the whole thing, and then he shipped it out here, and so he stores it here. This is a curtain rockaway, they call it. It's a pretty classy old rig, and it's got one unusual thing about it right here. Here's the step, and these are hard to get in anyway, and the ladies with the long skirts and the mud on the step and everything. See what they have here? Now that's pretty clever. But this is a curtain rockaway, and it has curtains that'll pull down, and you can pull the windows up with here. It's got all beveled glass. You just unhook the strap here and pull the window up if you want. This next one came from Acosta from the Grossman farm, and they'd used it in a Christmas parade down there. And the body it's all wood, all the moldings and everything. And they had it in the Christmas parade, and they put cedar boughs on here, and they had them all stapled in all the way around there, so it was all full of holes. And so it was a lot of work to redo this. And there's a picture of it when we got it, with all the ribbons and the stuff still hanging on it from the Christmas parade. This one is what they call a vis-a-vis. That's face-to-face. So that people can sit there and visit back and forth, I suppose. But these two seats, they will swivel around and you can face them forward if you like. But when they're in the vis-a-vis position, then you have this folding jump seat here for the driver. But he better take a short hold in the rein because he'll have his hand up to his ears trying to get the horse stopped if you have any trouble. And we did a wedding with this one here in town from the church and took them around a few blocks and down to the city hall for the reception. This one, the upholstery is all original. It says all original leather, so we managed to save that. But we had to have a whole new top made for it. This one is supposedly from a local family, 1880, but the gentleman that had it can't remember or won't remember what the family was. So I would dearly love to find out what family it belonged to for the history of it. But this one, the wife went down to the feed store and she found this picture hanging on the wall of a buggy for sale. Well, he just kind of had it wired together so you could see what it was. So it was a lot of work to get this thing, and now this is the buggy here. And we did this and tried to get the original color and try to make it as original as we could. And I found a piece of fringe still hanging on one of the boards for the top. Well, you can buy this part of the fringe, but you can't buy the tassels and stuff. So my granddaughter and I tied them tassels all by hand, and that runs around here twice, and the wife had to take them all and stitch them loops onto the regular fringe to make it like it was. And it came out pretty decent. Mm-hmm. This one has a foot brake on it. Most of the buggies don't have that, but the wagons do. This is a sleigh that came out of Carl Huffman's Cowboy Carl, they call him now. He had Huffman Motors in Aberdeen, Ford and Lincoln dealer, Mercury. And in 1954, my dad and I borrowed it from Carl and took it to the Mork Hotel. We put it in that's the largest hotel in Aberdeen, put it in the dining room so my grandparents could sit in it for their 50th wedding anniversary. Because when they were married in Atlantic, Iowa in 1904, they drove 8 miles in a sleigh to the preacher's house. Even at that time, the upholstery was bad and everything, but so this had the front was all broken out. We had to restore that, and the back was cracked and the sides, but we managed to save it. This is a more usually new thing in a carriage house. If you read this here, it says, this is a gift to Riley Glor's relative from Sitting Bull, and it's a buffalo hide lap robe, carriage lap robe. And they found this note was in there with it. Anyway, this tells about his grandpa, which tells in the note about, you can, I don't know if you can read the thing there or not. But they invited Buffalo, or Sitting Bull, to come to their house, and he came there with some of his natives. This is all wool lined and hand stitched around here. And it's about 7 feet square. And it's amazing to me that the softness of the hair of a buffalo, I expected it to be more wiry looking, but it's really quite plush stuff. Okay.